because after death, he is going to be in so much hellish condition. Nobody can describe it. So both lives, living condition and death, after death, his condition is very horrible. Anyway, apart from others, the devotee, for him, appearance and disappearance is the same thing. Just like when my spiritual master appeared in Jagannath Puri, he was the son of a very big government official, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who was a magistrate, government officer. In those days, a magistrate was a very big officer in the government, practically next to governor. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur was in charge of the Jagannath temple. That is the system in Jagannath Puri. The manager in charge of the temple is the district magistrate, known, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur's name was Kedaranath Datta. Wait a minute, there's something wrong here. Is that 2 pages? No. Wait a minute. Let's look. District magistrate, right? And then it comes. He was a district magistrate known as Kedarnath Datta. So there was the Rath Yatra festival, and the Rath Yatra car stopped before his house. And at that time, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, a child in the lap of his mother, the mother took the opportunity of rising on the car, and because she was the magistrate's wife, so she could have the car stop in front of her house. And she took this opportunity. She was the magistrate's wife, so she had the facility immediately. People gave her way to go on the top of the car and place the child on the lotus feet of Jagannatha. And there were many garlands. One garland fell upon him, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and gave him blessings. This was one, let's say, indication of who he was going to be in the future, a very special and empowered Vaishnava. And Prabhupada says there were so many other things. When he was a child, 2 years old, 3 years old, he ate one mango fruit, which was kept for offering to the deity. So his father mildly rebuked him. "Oh, you have done very wrong thing. It was meant for the deity, and you have taken it. You should not have done it." The child, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, was 2 or 3 years old. He took it so seriously that never after that did he ever eat a mango, meaning he made a vow at that young age, about 3 years old, that he would never eat a mango the rest of his life. Whenever we offered him mango, he said, "No, I am offender. I cannot take mango." He was thinking like that, you see. Never in his life he took mango. He was thinking that I offended in my childhood by taking the mango of the deity. This is the characteristic of an acharya. They teach by their life's action that one should be so much determined that one should not be, let's say, a loose person. A child took the mango, there was no offense, but he took the vow that he would never eat mango for the rest of his life. Another instance is that Prabhupada is saying, in my presence, at that time we were also young men, and one of my godbrothers, his name is Dr. Ud Bihari Kapoor. He's now retired in Vrindavana. Last time I saw him, he was also a young man, and his wife was also young. So we, meaning Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and others, were sitting together, talking with Guru Maharaj. And the girl proposed, "My dear master, I want to speak with you." So Guru Maharaj said, "Yes, you can talk whatever you like." So she said, "I want to talk with you secretly, not in the presence of everyone." Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, said, "No, I cannot talk with you secretly. You can talk in the presence of my disciples." So even that girl was just like his granddaughter by age. He refused to talk with a young woman in a secret place. These are the instances or the examples of Maharaj. He also did not marry. From childhood, he was a strict brahmachari, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, and he underwent very severe penances for starting this movement, worldwide movement. That was his mission. Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted to do this. He, in 1896, Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted to introduce this Krishna consciousness movement by sending his book, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, His Life and Precepts. He sent that book to, I think, to Canada and other places. Fortunately, that same year was my birth year, Prabhupada says, and by Krishna's arrangement, we came in contact, meaning Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I was born in a different family. My Guru Maharaj was born in a different family. Who knew that I would come to his protection? Who knew that I would come in America? Who knew how things are taking place? In 1936, that means so many years ago, in Bombay, I was then doing some business. All of a sudden, perhaps on this date, sometimes between 9 or 10 December, at that time, Guru Maharaj was indisposed somewhat, meaning Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and he was staying at Jagannath Puri on the seashore. So I wrote him a letter. "My dear master, your other disciples, brahmacharis and sannyasis, they are rendering you direct service. And I am a householder. I cannot live with you. I cannot serve you nicely. So I do not know how can I serve you." This was simply an idea that I had. I was thinking of serving my guru. How can I serve him seriously? So the reply was dated 13th December 1936. In that letter he wrote, "My dear devotee, I am very glad to receive your letter. I think you should try to push our movement in English." That was his writing. "And that will do good to you and to the people who will help you." That was his instruction. And then in 1936, on the 31st December, that means just after writing this letter, a fortnight before my Gurudev's departure, he passed away. But I took that order of my spiritual master very seriously, but I did not think that I'll have to do such and such a thing. I was at that time a householder. But this is the arrangement of Krishna. If we strictly try to serve the spiritual master and follow his order, then Krishna will give us all facilities. That Bhagavad Gita verse, Vyavasatmika buddhir ekaha kurunandana. Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, 41st verse. Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched. In other words, those who are serious devotees, they're always thinking of how to serve Krishna, and not only thinking, actually engaging in serving Krishna. And those who are irresolute are not really fixed up in Krishna consciousness. They have many, many things that they want to do that are not necessarily Krishna conscious. In connection with this verse, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura gives his commentary that we should take up the words from the spiritual master as our life and soul. We should try to carry out the instruction, the specific instruction of the spiritual master, very rigidly, without caring for our personal benefit or loss. Now that is the culture of Krishna consciousness, of having a bona fide guru. The bona fide guru gives us strict instructions how we should live throughout our life. And we should live strictly in Krishna consciousness, chanting, dancing, feasting, preaching, going on Sankirtan, etc. So it says, those who are on this path of Krishna consciousness are resolute in purpose. That means they're very fixed in their purpose of engaging in devotional service. And their aim is one, that is to please Krishna. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched. So those who are not actually devotees, they think about so many different things that they want to do in life, but they're not really thinking about being serious in Krishna consciousness. In connection with that verse, Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur gives his commentary that we should take up the words from the spiritual master as our life and soul. We should try to carry out the instruction, the specific instruction of the spiritual master, very rigidly, without caring for our personal benefit or loss. So Prabhupada says, so I tried a little bit in that spirit. So my guru has given me facilities to serve him. Things have come to this stage that in this old age I have come to your country, meaning the United States, and you are also taking this movement seriously, trying to understand it. We have got some books now, so there is little foothold of this movement. Well, that little foothold has become an international foothold, right? Because of Prabhupada's purity and the determination of the devotees. Now on this occasion of my spiritual master's departure, I am trying to execute his will. Similarly, I shall also request you to execute the same order through my will. I am an old man. I can also pass away at any moment. That is nature's law. Nobody can check it, so that is not very astonishing. But my appeal to you, Prabhupada is talking to his disciples, on this auspicious day of the departure of my Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that at least to some extent you have understood the essence of Krishna consciousness movement. You should try to push it on. People are suffering for want of this consciousness. As we daily pray about devotees, Vanchakalpa Turabhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha, I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen souls. I don't think this is, it's not following. Let's see. So it quotes this verse and then it goes here. Okay, anyway, the determination of a devotee is to always be engaged in devotional service, following the instructions of the bona fide spiritual master, and making it his life's let's say, purpose to spread Krishna consciousness. That is the determination of a devotee of the Lord. Such devotees don't care for personal comforts. Because they love Krishna or God, therefore they love all living entities, because all living entities are in relationship with Krishna. Yeah, every living entity. It's the cows, the birds, the bees, the human beings, we all come from Krishna. And we're all related because of that. We have the same father or grandfather or great-great-grandfather, Krishna. Because they love Krishna or God, therefore they love all living entities, because all living entities are in relationship with Krishna. There it is. All living entities are in relationship with Krishna. So similarly, you should learn. This Krishna consciousness movement means to become Vaishnava and feel, in other words, have mercy for the suffering humanity. But to feel for the suffering humanity, there are different angles of vision. Somebody is thinking of the suffering of the humanity from bodily conception of life. Somebody is trying to open a hospital to give relief to the disease condition. Somebody is trying to distribute foodstuff in poverty-stricken countries or places. These things are certainly very nice, but actual suffering of the humanity is due to lack of Krishna consciousness. These bodily sufferings, they are temporary. Neither they can be checked by the laws of nature. Suppose if you give some distribution of foodstuff in some poverty-stricken country, that does not mean that this help makes a solution of the whole problem. The real beneficial work is to invoke every person to Krishna consciousness as soon as he comes to Krishna consciousness. So you see, Prabhupada's talking about his Guru Dev, right? But he's giving all this explanation also. The same example, as I've given several times, that a rich man's son is loitering in the street, forgetting his father's opulence and property, and somebody, out of sympathy, giving him some food. But another person comes to him and says, "Oh, my dear boy, I know you. You are the son of such and such a rich man. Why are you loitering in the street? Come on, I shall take you to your father." So if the gentleman takes that loitering boy to his father, the father is glad and the boy inherits his father's property, and his whole problem of life becomes solved. This is a crude example. Similarly, all living entities, they are loitering within this universe in different bodies, in different planets, and from time immemorial, without knowing that he belongs to the kingdom of God. He is the direct son of Krishna and God. That Krishna is the proprietor of everything, and he can enjoy his father's property. And these problems of material conditioned life automatically are solved. So there are so many different problems in the material conditioned life, but they'll all be solved by surrendering oneself to Guru and Krishna. So this is such a nice movement. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshisyami mahasucha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. That's a verse from Bhagavad Gita, 1866, 18th chapter, 66 verse. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So why did he say all varieties of religion? You would think you'd say, you should follow religion. But most of religions are what you would say incomplete or contaminated. They're not teaching pure devotional service. Just like, you have the, in Christian churches, you'll have, the Orthodox Church, and then you have the all these different churches. They're all Christians, but they all each have these different names. You know, they're split into different Christian denominations. So Prabhupada's point here is abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto Krishna. Or he says, surrender unto me. Krishna is speaking here. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. So if someone says, oh, I'm a Protestant, another one says, I'm a Catholic, and so forth. And these are all designations. But when you come to the point where you don't use those, what you would say, adjectives, but you say, I'm the eternal servant of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's who I actually am. I'm not this denomination or that denomination. I am completely surrendered to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So all these denominations are just creating unnecessary separations. Okay? That's why Krishna says, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. The Bhagavad Gita says, the Lord says, people's sufferings are due to their sinful activities. Ignorance. Ignorance is the cause of sinful activity. Just like a man does not know. Suppose a foreigner like me comes to America, and he does not know. Know what? He does not know that in America they drive on the right side, and in India they drive on the left side. So he says, so suppose he does not know. He drives the car on the left side and incurs some accident, and he is taken by the police custody. And if he says, sir, I did not know that here the car is driven from the right side, that does not make him excused. The law will punish him. Ignorance is not an excuse. So ignorance is the cause of breaking the law or sinful activities. And as soon as you commit some sinful activity, you have to suffer the result. So the whole world is in ignorance, and due to ignorance, everyone is complicated in so many actions and reactions, meaning karma, either good or bad. There is nothing good within this material world. Now that's a correct statement, and only Prabhupada can make a statement like that. There is nothing good within this material world. Everything is bad. So we have manufactured something good and something bad here. Because in the Bhagavad Gita we understand this place is dukkhalayam asasvatam. In Bhagavad Gita it clearly says that this is a terrible place. The material world is a terrible place. We shouldn't want to stay in the material world. We should go back to where we came from originally, the spiritual world. There is nothing good within this material world. Everything is bad. Sometimes people say, well, how was your vacation? Oh, it was wonderful. We went to this place, and we had such a good time, and we saw so many beautiful things. That's all false. Nothing is good in the material world. We don't belong here. We didn't come here voluntarily. We're here because we voluntarily walked away from Krishna out of ignorance. And we immediately become victims of karma, good and bad karma. Both are bad. Good karma and bad karma. They're both bad. Because if you have good karma, you stay in the material world and try and enjoy the good karma. If you have bad karma, you suffer in the material world and you're still stuck in the cycle of birth and death. So what we are teaching is called akarma, acting without any material desire, simply to please the Lord. Now that's akarma, you see. So there's karma, which means acting according to religious principles, and there's akarma, acting sinfully, but then there is transcendental activity in Krishna consciousness where there's no karma. So we should work for no karma. So it says here, so ignorance is the cause of breaking the law or sinful activities. Now, let's say your kids go to a school, and in the school they have lunch, and in lunch there's meat. And everybody's eating meat. I guess maybe your child might eat meat also. That's called ignorance. They didn't teach that in school. Do they teach in school you shouldn't eat meat? Huh? What do you say? No. What's that? Every day for lunch they have meat, you see. So you go to school to get educated, but in school they teach you to eat meat. So what kind of education is that? That's nonsense, you say. Well, maybe there are some schools that, if the parents say, yeah, my kids don't eat meat, okay, so they might stop you, and they might give the kid only vegetarian food. But the kid has to sit down with so many other kids who are eating meat, you say. Okay, so ignorance is the cause of breaking the law or sinful activities. Obviously, children and their families who are eating meat, they're breaking the law. Which law? Well, there's two sets of laws. There's the laws of mundane society, and there's the laws of spiritual society. So you might follow all the laws of mundane society, but you may break all the laws of spiritual society. So that did not help you, that the mundane society laws will not free you from Hare Krishna, glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The mundane laws of society will not free you from the cycle of birth and death. Hare Krishna. The spiritual laws of society, of the spiritual world, will save you from birth, death, old age, and disease. So you see, we have two sets of laws that we have to follow, the laws of mundane society and the laws of spiritual society. If we, the laws of mundane society, they don't really say don't eat meat, don't engage in illicit sex, and so forth. They say, look, drive on this side of the road and don't kill anybody and so forth, don't steal and so forth. But they don't say the most important thing, that one must always live in Krishna consciousness with love and devotion for the Lord and give up all sinful activities. They don't say that. That's why Prabhupada says here, so ignorance is the cause of breaking the law or sinful activities. And as soon as you commit some sinful activity, you have to suffer the result. So the whole world is in ignorance. And due to ignorance, everyone is complicated in so many actions and reactions, either good or bad. There is nothing good within this material world. Everything is bad. So we have manufactured something good and something bad. Because in the Bhagavad Gita, we understand this place. This place is Dukkalayam Asasvatam. And this is a verse from the Bhagavad Gita, 8th chapter, 15th verse, that says, Krishna says, after attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. This place is for misery. So how can you say, in miserable condition, how can you say that this is good or this is bad? Everything is bad. So one should be very much pessimistic of this material world. Then he can make advancement in spiritual life. Dukhalayam asaswatam. This is a place of misery. And if you study analytically, you'll find simply miserable conditions. Therefore, the whole problem is that we should give up our material conditional life, and in Krishna consciousness, we should try to elevate ourselves to the spiritual platform and thereby be promoted to the kingdom of Godhead. Yad gatva na nivartante taddaman paramam mama, Bhagavad Gita 15.6. That abode of mine is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by electricity. One who reaches it never returns to this material world. We're going nowhere. Once you go to the spiritual world, you do not come back again to the material world. And that is the supreme abode of the Lord. So there are descriptions in the Bhagavad Gita. So this Krishna consciousness movement is authorized. Very important. Now you, American boys and girls, you have taken to this movement. Please take it more seriously. That is the mission of Lord Chaitanya. My Gurudev Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and we are trying to execute the will by disciplic succession. You have come forward to help me. I shall request you all that I shall go away. I shall request you all that eventually I will go away, but you shall live. Don't give up pushing on this movement, and you'll be blessed by Lord Chaitanya and his divine grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, Prabhupad. Thank you very much. Then Prabhupada asked for questions. And one devotee asked, when your spiritual master was a little boy, did he do things like Lord Chaitanya did, like when he went to the water and went to the river and stole the clothing of the women? Prabhupada, no. He was not so much naughty as Krishna. My Guru Maharaj was a very gentle boy, yes. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a very naughty boy, yes. And Krishna was also a very naughty boy. Okay, let's go. What is this? How come it doesn't follow? 1 second. Okay, so when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was a very young boy, the son of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, there was the Rath Yatra festival was going on, and his mother brought the son, Bhakti so they brought the little boy out, the baby, and the cart stopped, and she put the baby up on the cart, and a garland fell on his neck. This was a sign that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was going to be a very special person. Also, there were many other things. When he was a child, 2 or 3 years old, he ate one mango fruit, which was kept for offering to the deity. So his father mildly rebuked him. Oh, you have done very wrong thing. It was meant for deities, and you have taken it, so you should not have done it. The child was 2 or 3 years old. He took it so seriously that he never, after that, ate mangoes. Whenever we offered him mango, he said, "No, I am offender. I cannot take mango." He was thinking like that, you see. Never in his life he took a mango. He was thinking that I offended in my childhood by taking the mango of the deity. This is the characteristic of an acharya. They teach by their life's action that one should be so much determined that one should not be, in other words, a child took the mango. There was no offense, but he took that vow that he would never eat mango. Another instance in my presence, Prabhupada says, at that time we were all young men, and one of my godbrothers, his name was Dr. Ud Bihar Kapoor. He's now retired in Vrindavana. He was also a young man, and his wife was also young. So we were sitting together talking with Guru Maharaj, and the girl proposed, "My dear spiritual master, I want to speak with you." So Guru Maharaj said, "Yes, you can talk whatever you like now." So she said, "No, I want to talk with you secretly, not in the presence of everyone." Guru Maharaj says, "No, I cannot talk with you secretly. You can talk in the presence of my disciples." So even that girl was just like his granddaughter by age. He refused to talk with a young woman in a secret place. So, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, of course, never married. And from his childhood, he was a strict brahmachari. And he underwent very severe penances for starting the Hare Krishna movement and making it a worldwide movement. That was his mission. Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted to do this. He, meaning Bhaktivinoda Thakur in 1896, wanted to introduce this Krishna consciousness movement by sending a book that he wrote, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, His Life and Precepts, to Canada. Fortunately, Prabhupada says, fortunately, that year was my birth year. And by Krishna's arrangement, we came in contact, meaning he came in contact with Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I was born in a different family. My Gurudev was born in a different family. Who knew that I would come to his protection? Who knew that I would come in America? Who knew that you American boys will come to me? These are all Krishna's arrangement. We cannot understand how things are taking place. Today, meaning December 1938, 1968, that means so many years ago. In Bombay, I was then doing some business. All of a sudden, perhaps on this date, sometimes between 9 or 10 December, at that time, Guru Maharaj was indisposed a little. He was sick. And he was staying at Jagannath Puri on the seashore. So I wrote him a letter. "My dear master, your other disciples, they're brahmacharis and sannyasis, they are rendering you direct service. And I am just a householder. I cannot live with you. I cannot serve you nicely. So I do not know how can I serve you." This was an idea that Prabhupada had. So he wrote this letter to his guru. I was thinking of serving him. How can I serve him seriously? So the reply was dated 13th December 1936. In that letter he wrote, "My dear devotee, I am very glad to receive your letter. I think you should try to push our movement in English." That was his writing. And that will do good to you and to the people who will help you. That was his instruction. And then in 1936, on the 31st December, that means just after writing this letter, a fortnight before his departure, he passed away. But I took that order of my spiritual master very seriously, but I did not think that I'll have to do such and such a thing. I was, at that time, a householder. But This is the arrangement of Krishna. If we strictly try to serve the spiritual master and his order, then Krishna will give us all facilities. That is the determination of a devotee of the Lord. They don't care for personal comforts because they love Krishna or God. Therefore, they love all living entities because all living entities are in relationship with Krishna. So similarly, you should learn. This Krishna consciousness movement means to become Vaishnava and feel or be merciful for suffering humanity. But to feel for the suffering humanity, there are different angles of vision. Somebody is thinking of the suffering of humanity from bodily conception of life. Somebody is trying to open a hospital to give relief to the diseased condition. Somebody is trying to distribute foodstuff in poverty-stricken countries or places. These things are certainly very nice, but actual suffering of humanity is due to lack of Krishna consciousness. These bodily sufferings are temporary. Neither they can be checked by the laws of nature. Suppose if you give someone distribution of foodstuff in some poverty-stricken country, that does not mean that this help makes the solution to the whole problem. The real beneficial work is to invoke every person to Krishna consciousness. As soon as he or she comes to Krishna consciousness, then their problems will begin to go away. The same example, as I have given several times, that a rich man's son is loitering in the street, forgetting his father's opulence and property, and someone out of sympathy is giving him some food. But another person comes to him and says, "Oh, my dear boy, I know you. You are the son of such and such a rich man. Why are you loitering in the street? Come on, I shall take you to your father." So if that gentleman takes that loitering boy to his father, the father is glad, and the boy inherits his father's property, and his whole problem of life becomes solved. This is a crude example. Similarly, all living entities, they are loitering within this universe in different bodies, in different planets, and from time immemorial, without knowing that he belongs to the kingdom of God. He is the direct son of Krishna, and who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That Krishna is the proprietor of everything, and he can enjoy his father's property. And these problems, material condition of life, automatically is solved. So, this is the message of Bhakti Thakur, and especially Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and now of Srila Prabhupada. We should understand that we have the right to be a member of the Hare Krishna movement, by which we come in contact with the entire number of pure devotees, and therefore with pure knowledge of Krishna consciousness. This is a very special thing. Very few people actually make that decision to come in contact with genuine devotees and surrender their life to serving their bona fide spiritual master and spreading Krishna consciousness. It's a rare thing. I'm still, how many people are there in the world? What is it? How many? 8 billion, right? Right. How many devotees are there? I mean, real devotees. Not that much. You could say there's like 1 million devotees, but how many of them are really engaged in spreading Krishna consciousness? There are. But the number is, if there, how many billion did you say people there are? 8 billion. 7 or 8 billion people. So if you said that there's 1 million devotees, that's still a very small percentage of 7 or 8 billion people. So you see, there's a tremendous amount of service that we can do. We have not even scratched the surface of spreading Krishna consciousness. We have all the, let's say, all the knowledge to spread it, but we haven't yet spread it dynamically throughout the world. There are certain places where it's going very well, no doubt about that. But there's such a large population, and there's so need of spreading Krishna consciousness. So we can't here in Seattle spread it all over the world, but we can spread it in Seattle. And we can spread it in Washington State. So we should make a goal. We should make a goal of seriously going on Sankirtan. Of course, let's say every Saturday. So when I was a devotee, I was going on Sankirtan every day. And because of that, we made many devotees, and we became famous. We were introduced to movie stars and so forth, because they would see us every day in the streets chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So it's a very beautiful thing to go out every day on Sankirtan and chant all day long. That's why I joined the movement, because I was a musician, and they were, the first time when we started Sankirtan in France, I was given the mridanga, and I'm a musician, so it was a natural thing for me. And I started to play the mridanga. It was the first time I ever played the mridanga. And we chanted many, many hours that day, and I liked it so much, I felt as if I could do this the rest of my life. So it's a lot of fun, right? You go chanting, dancing, feasting. That's Krishna consciousness. So today, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Disappearance Day, he wanted this movement to be spread all over the world. And he did everything possible to build a foundation, a solid foundation for doing that. And he inspired His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who actually did spread this movement all over the world. So there was Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and then his son, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and then Srila Prabhupada. And now the baton has been given to every one of us to spread this movement as much as we can, so that all the suffering people in this world, and everyone is suffering. If you, you just read listen to the news, and you'll see there's people suffering all over the place with so many unnecessary habits and desires and so-called lust, anger, and greed. So Krishna consciousness is the only solution. It is the panacea of all problems of life. Panacea means the solution to all problems of life. So we should make this a very, very, let's say, determined effort to spread Krishna consciousness. Now, our area is Seattle and Washington State. We should try our best now to spread this Krishna consciousness with enthusiasm. And that enthusiasm means that we're happy. If you chant Hare Krishna, but you don't look like you're happy, nobody's going to want to be Krishna conscious. They'll say, well, if I become Krishna conscious, I'll become like that guy. He doesn't look like he's happy. No, we should be happy and chant Hare Krishna and help others chant Hare Krishna with joy and happiness. Yeah, sometimes people start dancing with us when we go on Sankirtan. That's because they see us as being very happy and dancing. So that's everyone's desire, is to be happy. So we are the happiest of the happies. We're dancing and chanting all the time, not just once in a month or once in a week. So our whole purpose is to spread this Krishna consciousness movement. That was the purpose of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and his father, Gorkishore Babaji, and then now Srila Prabhupada, and then now Prabhupada's disciples. We should spread this movement as much as we can, because there's so many people unnecessarily living in ignorance, unnecessarily suffering, and being confused about what is actually the real purpose of life. And you can ask anyone, what's the purpose of life? What would they say? What do you think they would say? Making money, yeah. Putting my kids through college, yeah. What else?
They want to be happy.
They want to be happy. Yeah, but what does that mean? That means like drinking champagne and dancing and having a lot of money in the bank or so forth. So you see, we have real happiness. They don't really have happiness. Their happiness is material happiness, and that is temporary. It comes and goes. Spiritual happiness is continual. Like every day I wake up, I feel happy. Why? Because I'm going to chant Hare Krishna, I'm going to have nice prasadam, I'm going to learn something new about Krishna, and I'll be able to also give lectures, and so I feel happy. This is a wonderful life, right? I don't have any worries. I don't have to worry about money either. Somehow or other, mysteriously, it keeps coming. So, and I keep spreading it also. I'm not trying to build a big nest egg. Egg nest, yeah. So, this chanting Hare Krishna, you should be happy to chant Hare Krishna. Sometimes I see, devotees are chanting in such a way they look miserable. Right. And that's a big mistake. People should see the devotees very happy, very loving, very energetic, and inviting everyone to come. Come on. There was once a group of young boys following a guru who was very strict. It was a hot day, and they were on one bank of a river, and they were carrying heavy stones. But on the other side of the river, there were devotees, and they were chanting and jumping up and down, and very happy. So at one point, the devotees were looking at the other side of the river, where there were these boys who had a guru who was forcing them to carry very heavy stones on a very hot day. And they didn't look happy at all. So the devotee said, "Hey, throw those stones down, jump into the river, come on our side, we'll all be happy, So the guru said, "Don't listen to what they're saying. That's all they're nonsense. They kill babies and eat them." But one of the boys, he saw that devotees were really happy. They were jumping up and down. So he threw away all those heavy stones, jumped into the river, and swam on the other side and joined the devotees, and he was happy. So that's the type of the decision that we have to make. You should jump into the river, swim on the other side where everyone's chanting Hare Krishna and are happy, and stay away from all carrying stones and carrying so much what you would call unnecessary things in your life. So, this happiness is necessary. It's the sign that you're Krishna conscious. It's like Prabhupada, he was a happy person, right? He was always positive. He was always Krishna consciousness. And he knew how to make everybody else happy, right? And how did Krishna consciousness start in the Western world? By chanting. Prabhupada had his cartels. He just sat down. There were no devotees. He just started chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. He's playing the cartels, and then he did have this little drum. It wasn't a regular Indian drum. It was just a little drum, and he was just playing it. And these young boys came and they started dancing, and that's how the movement started, just by Sankirtan, right? And he didn't have prasadam. He only had like an apple, so he would cut the apple in a few pieces and give it as prasadam. Right? That's how he started the movement. And now it's a gigantic movement. So we should never be doubtful about Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is the best way to organize your life and get ready to go back to the spiritual world, chanting Hare Krishna all the way. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai. Are there any questions anyone would like to ask? Any questions that you would like to ask? This chant Hare Krishna and be happy is very important. If you don't look like you're happy, nobody will want to follow you and chant Hare Krishna. They'll think, oh, if I chant Hare Krishna like that guy, I'll be miserable. So you have to, in order to preach, you have to be happy, right? You won't be able to convince anyone if you're not happy. And people will not look at you. They'll look first at the women and the children in the movement. And if they see that the women and the children are happy, they'll say, oh, okay, so this is something good. Yeah. So, are the women and children happy in Krishna consciousness in our temple? What would you women say? Are you happy? Are your children happy? Well, by the way, you should always keep your children sitting with you in the temple. You shouldn't let them run around wild. That's a very bad example. And like someone who has, very well-behaved children, they come to the temple and they see that our children are running around wild. And they say, oh my God, I'm not bringing my kid here. He'll end up like those kids, you see. So we should never let the kids run wild in the temple or be outside running wild and screaming. And because anybody who's a good mother and a good father, they bring their kids to the temple to be trained to be good, to be serious. But if they see all our kids are outside running around and screaming, they're going to say, oh my God, I'm not bringing my kid here. Haribol. Any questions? Okay, it's 9 o'clock. Time to Betty bye. Arti, okay, go ahead. Hare Krishna. You can take this.
Is this okay height?
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sarma. Bandhu Moi Savadana Mate. Bandhu Moi Savadana Mate. Jahara Prasade Bhai He Baba Toriya Jai. Krishna Prapti Hoya Hoite. Krishna Prapti Hoya Hoite. Shri Guru Shri Tete Kori Agya Adma Vakya Shri Tete Kori Agya Arana Kori Mane Asha. Arana Kori Mane Asha. Shri Guru Charane Rati Ese Uttama Gati. Je Prasade Pure Sarva Asha. Je Prasade Pure Sarva Asha. Chakshudan diloje janme janme Prabhu se. Divignan Hriday Prakashito. Prema Bhakti Jaha Hote Avidya Vinashayate. Vedegar Jahara Charito. Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu. Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu. Lokanath Lokera Jivana. Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana. Aha Padachaya. Aha Prabhu Koro Daya Deho More Padachaya. Ebe Jas Gushuti Bhuvana. Jaya Prabhupada Daya Sharana. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vasyacha Deshatarine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo.
Koti Vaishnava Bindi Ki Jai, Namacharya Sila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Shikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasti, Gaura Bhakti Bindi Ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sam Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Mayapura Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai, Tulasi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Ganga Maya Ki Jai, Jamuna Maya Ki Jai, Samaveda Bhakti Bindi Ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to assembled devotees, 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 all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Guranga, all glories to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Gaur Premanandi, Hari Bo, Hari Bo.
So we'll start with the Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahiyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vetamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति सिद्धांता सरस्वती इति नामिने श्री वर्षभानवी देवी दायिताय कृपाब्धये कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान दायिने प्रभवे नमः माधुरोज्ज्वला प्रेमाद्य श्री रूपनुगा भक्तिदा श्री गौर करुणा शक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्री मूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपनुगा विरुद्ध अप सिद्धांत ध्वंत हारिणे नमो गौर किशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्य मूर्तये विप्रलंभा रसंबोधे पादाम्बुजाय ते नमः नमो भक्ति विनोदाय सच्चिदानंद नामिने गौर शक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपनुगा वरायते गौर आविर्भावेस भूमेस्त्वं निर्देष्टा सज्जना प्रिय वैष्णवा सर्वभौमा श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतुषे नमः पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्त रूप स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्त शक्तिकम। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीन बंधो जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते जयताम सुरतौ पंगोर मम मंद मतिर्गति मत सर्वस्व पदम भोजौ राधा मदन मोहनौ दिव्याद वृंदारण्य कल्प द्रुमदः श्रीमद रत्नाग्रा सिंहासना स्थौ श्रीमद राधा शिला गोविंद देवो पृष्ठालिभि सेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमान रास रसारंभी वंशीवट तटस्थितः कर्षणवेणु सुनैर्गोपीर गोपीनाथ श्रियस्तुनः तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Now 3 times we'll chant Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Pranati, and then we can offer the Esha Pushpanjali. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varsha Bhanvi Devi Daitaya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhurojjvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaur Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gaurvani Shri Murtaye Deentarine Rupanuga Viruddha Apasiddhanta Dhvantaharine. Esh Pushpanjali. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varsha Bhanvi Devi Daitaya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhurojjvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaur Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gaurvani Shri Murtaye Deentarine Rupanuga Viruddha Apasiddhanta Dhvantaharine. Esh Pushpanjali. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varsha Bhanvi Devi Daitaya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhurojjvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gaurvani Shri Murtaye Deentarine Rupanuga Viruddha Apasiddhanta Dhvantaharine. Esh Pushpanjali. Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare